Alright, well welcome back to Heath's house where the power is still out, but we're still going to have some fun. We're looking for a neighbor that has a better generator because Liz made those meatballs earlier and our oven keeps tripping ours. So until we find that, we're going to make some pasta to go with the spaghetti. This is just a simple flour and egg pasta. It's 2 cups of flour. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to add 3 eggs. Oops, got out. And then I'm just going to mix this together. Would have been prettier had it stayed in the middle, but I didn't make my well big enough. So we're going to do it this way now. Now we're just going to mix this until it's really incorporated. And I'm going to knead it a little bit. Then I'm going to let it sit for 30 minutes. Then we're going to run it through our pasta machine, which also hopefully doesn't trip the generator. And you can do this in a food processor too. Put the flour and salt in there and then drop 1 egg at a time until it gets blended up. I'm fairly certain I couldn't use a food processor right now. I might have to add some more flour. These are homegrown eggs from our chickens out back, and I think they're a little bit bigger than the store-bought ones. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more flour. Let's get this mixed up a little bit more. That's looking good. You don't want it too dry because you got to roll it through this, but it can't be sticky. All right, I think we're about there. All right. So this is looking good. It's a tight little ball. I'm going to wrap this in some saran wrap, then let it sit on the counter for about 30 minutes. Alright, this is rested for 30 minutes. I'm going to run it through here first to turn it into sheets, and then I think the boys wanted noodles, right? Instead of like skinny noodles. So we're going to turn it into spaghetti. Instead of, I actually might turn some into linguine noodles. Yeah, it's a little moist still. I probably should add more flour back then, but we'll do that now. I'm gonna cut it into 4 chunks probably. Normally, I would wrap these in plastic wrap while I'm doing this, but since this pasta is a bit wet, I'm not going to. And I got a little semolina here that I'm going to put down, just help it. All right. Yeah, it's a bit wet. You might have to add some more flour to it. So I'm going to fold it in 3 and then run it through again. open. Normally, I would not be adding this flour right now. Alright. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. One more notch. Pretty good right there. And we still currently have no power, so my oven did not work. I kept tripping the small generator we have. So our meatballs are in the fridge and we're not eating meatballs for dinner tonight. But we're still going to have pasta and spaghetti. That's a good one right there. That one's nice. That one's pretty nice too. All right, one more to go. We'll make some spaghetti with it. So one thing I would have to say is, if you're doing this with homemade eggs, definitely add more flour, because the homemade eggs were pretty big, and they just put too much moisture up in here. Sprinkle these with a little bit of semolina. Turn this off. So the one I'm using now is just a roller, and as you adjust it, it gets wider or closer depending on what kind of pasta you're doing. The next thing I'm going to do, because that's what the boys requested, I'm going to do a couple like this, and then I'm going to do a couple with the fatter noodles. Well, this dough's a bit too wet. I'm going to have to let it dry out a little bit. I thought that was going to happen. try to get these to separate real quick. I have semolina on, so once they separate, they should stay separated. Alright, so here we have some beautiful homemade pasta. Right there. This one's thicker. I'm going to save that for my linguine. Alright, now I'm going to put the thicker noodles on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to get right there. So there you have the thicker noodles, which is my preference. So let's move this flour out of the way. So we got little balls of fresh noodles. Kids are gonna love this. Oh, this is definitely not enough. They eat so much pasta, it's crazy. All right, so this is the fresh linguine. I'm gonna put it in here. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute 45 seconds. All right, now you guys can see that pretty good. All right, so this is 1 minute 45 seconds. Oh yeah. So that's what it looks like cooked. Some beautiful homemade pasta. And honestly, I messed this up earlier. I made it, used my homemade eggs, my homegrown eggs, and they were way too big. And so I had way too much moisture in my pasta. I had to make some adjustments as I was rolling this through. But you see, I messed up, and it still turned out pretty delicious. All the rest of everybody's eating right now, and they are slurping it up and enjoying it. So even when you mess up, it does turn out okay. And that really is so good. You can cook it for a little longer if you want, but I like my pasta to have a little bite too. Thanks for stopping into He's house, where we currently don't have power, even though we have lights, because we do have a generator. It just doesn't power the whole house, and we can't make our meatballs because the oven doesn't work. But we can make some fresh spaghetti, which is what we're going to enjoy for dinner tonight. So we'll see you all around, and hopefully next time we'll have power. Bye now.